Yes, this is National EMS Week. This is the 40th National EMS Week since President Gerald Ford enacted it in 1974. And this is just a time where we get together to ask the community to stop for a moment and just say thank you to all those men and women that ride on our fire trucks, our ambulances, our police cars, that work in our dispatch centers, and work in our hospitals, that make up EMS, Emergency Medical Services.
We've got a couple of commissioners here, Commissioner Ferguson and Bankston. You could just throw your hand up and down, be perfect, and we'll applaud at the end. We have Ms. McClendon, Chief County Commissioner. Thank y'all for coming. We have the City Manager, Superintendent of City Schools, Tim Wilder. Thank y'all for coming. State Representative Paul Lee and a special guest, Mr. Burl Lee, which is a retired Dothan firefighter. Thank you so much for coming. It is a pleasure to have you here today. We've got several department heads and city leaders. We got the EEO officer, Daryl Matthews, Elston Jones, Delvin McKay, Chief Benton and his staff. We have Performing Arts Marshall Perry, Randy Morris from General Services, Steve Collins, E911 Coordinator, thank you for coming. We have Steve Carlisle and the EMA staff, thank you guys for coming. And I'd like to thank the media for being here as well. If I missed anyone, I apologize. It's hard to really break up the crowd in there, but let's give them a round of applause. All right, now I want to recognize some EMS providers. Of course, all of the Dothan Fire Department for being here. You guys really proud of you guys. Any retired Dothan firefighters that are here, thank you for coming. Dothan Ambulance Service, Joey, Jay, see y'all out there. I've seen y'all out there somewhere. Care Ambulance, thank y'all for coming. Thanks, Tara. Dothan Police Department, South Beach, Bruce McNeil and your staff, thank y'all for coming. Flowers Hospital, Miss Amy, thank you for coming. Wallace College, Becky and Vince are here, thank y'all for coming. Let's give them a round of applause. This year, we are celebrating EMS Week, and it is dedicated for life, and it's such a great statement. This year marks the 40th time that people of the United States have come together to celebrate the EMS profession, especially the EMTs and paramedics who provide the backbone for pre-hospital care in the city of Dothan and the Houston County area. President Gerald Ford signed legislation authorizing EMS Week in 1973, and the first week-long celebration took place in May of 1974. Well, an interesting fact is that some of the men and women in the Dothan and Houston County area who were taking care of patients in 1974 are still providing that service today. And I think that is a wonderful thing. These folks are dedicated, they stay in it because they get the right thing out of it, and that's that gratification of helping the public. So special thanks to those. Our EMTs, paramedics, public safety dispatchers, police officers, and hospital staff, as well as post-secondary training, in-house training, make up a safety net that's in place 24/7, 365 days a year. And that's what we're here today to celebrate. Everything that everyone does to keep this net available for all of us. All right, with no further ado, I want to recognize our award winners for our EMT Award year. The first one, the John T. Ingram EMT of the year. Before I get into the actual person, I want to talk about how these nominations work. Every year, supervisors, peers, they nominate their fellow members to be the John T. Ingram EMT of the year or paramedic of the year. All of these nominations are populated and they're sent to the medical center where a staff of medical leaders of the community come together, they review them, they discuss them, and they choose who's going to be awarded these awards. So it is, again, a very prestigious award to receive. So that's sort of the makeup of how this happens. The first award I would like to present is the John T. Ingram EMT of the Year Award. As many of you recall, firefighter John Ingram was tragically killed in a motorcycle accident in 2001. John was a huge asset in EMS for the Dothan Fire Department. He's someone who is sorely missed and will never be forgotten. So I want to recognize that his father's here, Tim Ingram, to help give this award. And thank you, Mr. Ingram, for coming. Sorry about that, they're out saving lives. Before I call up this firefighter, Mr. Ingram shared a testimony with me a few minutes ago that I just want to shortly allude to, but I think it's a very important thing to mention since the person he's talking about is actually here today. A few years ago, around 2008, 2009, he was suffering to a massive heart attack where he called out for EMS. So now he was dependent on this life-saving tool to get him to the hospital to get that definitive care. Well, lo and behold, Vince Fagan, Vince, if you don't mind, just stand up and sit back down. I won't make a spectacle of you. They were in Abbeville, and that's Vince's domain, and he heard Mr. Ingram's police number go out over the radio, so he was off duty and radioed the ambulance to rendezvous with him. He got in the ambulance. Not only did he offer superior care to Mr. Ingram, but he offered him comfort. And comfort, as we well know when we're dealing with a STEMI or a heart attack situation, is some of the best treatment that we can offer. Calm, comfort, care. And that was offered. And Mr. Ingram wanted us to give a shout out to you, Vince, for that great treatment.